Hello. I wasn't intending to make this video today. I don't think I'd ever decided if I was going to make this video at all, ever. Since I'm alone today, I guess it's as good a time as any. There's so many opportunities now with the internet and so many different social media platforms. I have a voice that maybe not as many people have. I want to make a difference with it, even if it's just a tiny bit at a time. I don't know if that's just very egotistical and silly and immature of me to want to do, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I can. I have dissociative identity disorder. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to spread some awareness with this video. I'm not going to go into anything too deeply, and hey, if it goes well, maybe I'll make more. I want to answer people's questions. I want to be more authentic about what this disorder means and destigmatize it. I know when I first heard, oh, you might have dissociative identity disorder, I said to my therapist, I don't know what that is, can you please explain? And she said, have you heard of multiple personality disorder? And immediately, everything that rushed into my head was negative connotations, stigma, things that I now know aren't true or are extremely dramatized. For example, the movie that came out recently, Split, which I'm sure is a good movie. I haven't seen it myself yet because I don't want to be triggered. It's definitely one of those things that kind of adds to the negative portrayal of DID. All those thoughts that rushed into my head at first were, ooh, people with multiple personalities, is that even real at first? And then that can't be me, because I would know if there were other people taking control of my body. If I was hearing voices that weren't mine, I would know, of course I would know, people would have noticed. Thoughts like, oh god, people with DID, god, violence and being out of control and being aggressive and unpredictable. After doing some research and coming to terms with it myself, I realised that none of those things are really true. People with DID are no less likely to be violent or criminals than any other member of the population. In fact, because everyone with DID has been exposed to some trauma or abuse in their life, they're more likely to recurrently fall back into that role of being abused rather than an abuser. We are not something you need to be scared of. We're not anything different just because we have a very, very systematic and very intricate coping mechanism. That's what DID is. It's a coping mechanism that allowed a young child to be able to deal with some intense or extreme trauma that otherwise the mind wouldn't have been able to move past. It's a way of compartmentalizing trauma, compartmentalizing different parts of life to progress without having a complete shutdown of the mind. You know that feeling when everything suddenly gets too much? It would be that all the time if we didn't have DID. It's protective. That's all it is. It's a protection, a mechanism in the brain, and it's not a split. Most people tend to think it is. A main personality that has then been split off into more than one personality. According to more recent research, that's not actually the case. Please forgive me if I explain this wrong. This is just what I remember off the top of my head, but it is definitely backed up by research. If you want to know more, I'll link some things below for you. The most recent theory is that when you're young, I don't want to explain this wrong. When you're younger, your personality has yet to fully integrate, yet to fully form into one whole personality. You have different states as a baby. Very, very simple. I'm hungry, I'm sad, I need to go to the toilet, I need love, that sort of thing. As you get older, more and more parts of your personality start to form, and when you reach the age of around 8-ish, 9-ish, we think now, that all coerces together into one full, distinct personality, which can change over the years. Of course, everybody changes, but that is your personality. It's one personality. If you're exposed to extreme trauma and have a penchant for already dissociating, then you're more likely to form multiple personalities. And what happens is that trauma creates amnesic walls, which means that your memory is impaired and you won't be able to remember it. The trauma is separated off and the personality is kind of cut there by these trauma walls that are put up, which means that they can't fully integrate when it comes to the right age, the age of around 8 or 9, as I said. So what you're left with is multiple personalities, alternate states of being, if you will. That's what it is. It's not splitting, it's sections of the brain being separated off from each other in order to deal with what's happened in an effective way. That means that the mind and the brain won't be overloaded by the amount of information that has been thrown at it. That's what DID is. It's not dangerous, it's not scary, it's not even that rare. It's actually more common than schizophrenia. So there's every chance that someone you've passed in the street, maybe even someone you know, has dissociative identity disorder. It's not something that should be stuck with all this stigma. I mean, it's definitely a larger than life disorder, but that doesn't mean it has to be frightening. Okay, I think I'm done now.